Ooh. Oh, my son. There it goes.
Too fast. Gotta make the morning last. Kicking down the cobblestones. Looking for fun, feeling groovy. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-dum, feeling groovy.
Okay, welcome, everyone. We're glad to have you on the bridge today. Today, in real time, it is the 30th of December, and Sandy and I are celebrating because we hit our 100th subscriber yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I have a gift for anyone, but I'm just happy to announce it. And today is our 86th episode, and we have BJ Strom. Is it Stromme or Strom?
Stromme.
Stromme back on with us today, and she's got some good end of the year work for us today. I hope she's going to give us some tips, and we're just so happy to have you back. And but Sandy, I know you have a quote for us. Can you give us a quote?
Absolutely. I am going with Deepak Chopra is the person that we're going to get information from today as far as wisdom goes. Always go with your passions. Never ask yourself if it's realistic or not.
Oh, I like that.
So passions go above just facts, right?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Well, that's our heart talking to us.
Right.
That's always a good thing. So, BJ, I'm going to let you kind of give yourself a little introduction. There might be people that didn't see you last time. And we're so happy to have you back and happy to hear your information. All of us need it today. So I'm going to give the floor to you. Have at it.
All right. Well, first of all, thank you so much for letting me come back and share some fun things with you and your audience. My name is BJ Stromme, and I am a confidence and mindset coach. I help entrepreneurs to find their confidence, be able to speak in a way that people say, really tell me more. And I also help business owners with their teams. So if you know of somebody who has a staff, has a team, they wish things were a little smoother, the culture was a little better, that might be something I can help them with. So I've been an entrepreneur for over 40 years. I love working with people. And today we're going to talk about New Year's goals and how to really make them meaningful, achievable, without the, super long to-do list. And again, bringing back that passion, so you really learn to follow your hearts. That's what we're going to play with today.
Okay, I love it. And on LinkedIn, the biggest thing I see all the time is about team environments and workplace culture. And I know you've got some real good tools that help people with that. So it really is up in the world. The worm is turning away from get it done or else to, hey, we've got to have happy people who feel safe, because then we can learn. So you're in the right business, girl.
Thanks.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about our New Year's goals. I recognize you didn't say the word resolutions.
Well, you can call it whatever works for your brain. So really, when we think about words and the things we say to ourselves and the things we say out loud, the words are so important.
Yeah.
And so, some people might use resolution because it really means something to them. Others will use goal. But here's a real easy snippet on words. Most of us have grown up saying, well, I want to lose some weight, right? But we've also grown up when we lose something, mom or dad or whoever says, well, we'll go find it. Well, where is it? We'll go get it back. So our brains are wired to find what we lose. So really figuring out what words work for you is one of the keys to our success, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we might, with the weight, just a side thing, you might say shed, donate, discard, give away, something that really means something good to you. Mm-hmm. When it comes to New Year's goals, I think the number one challenge that almost everybody has is we have too many.
Yeah.
We've got all of these things that we really want the new year to bring us the things we want to experience, the growth we want to see in business, the health we want in our bodies, the loving relationships, all of it, right? So if you've got so many goals and you want to work on all of them, or you think these could all happen, we have this little thing in our brain that when we're overwhelmed, it's fight, flight, or freeze. So one of those is going to happen. You're going to get up and go get a snack, which would be a semi-flight, or you're going to just shut down, freeze, or fight might be you just don't even get into it. You just let yourself get totally distracted. And that doesn't work for any of us, right?
Right. Yeah,
So
too many overwhelm me.
Yeah.
For sure.
And we all have a list a mile long. I mean, it's not that we don't have the list. It's figuring out what is going to be that number one passion, that you talk about, that thing that really would light me up.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to be hosting a free workshop January 2nd. If you see this by then, great. If you see this afterwards, you might drop me a little message at bj@popmindset.com, and I'll see if I can fill you in on what the program is. But we will be looking at, how do I narrow it down? How do I fine tune it down? And we'll choose 3 really super feel-good goals. They might not be those goals that feel like, I've got to get my nose to the grindstone. I really got to work. I got to figure out this social media thing. That might not be the goal. But there might be a smaller goal that leads to that goal that is really exciting, that feels really good. So that's the first step, is we pick 3 feel-good goals. They sound like, oh, this is going to be awesome. And when I accomplish this, I'm going to feel amazing, right? Don't we love that feeling?
Absolutely.
You finally clean out a drawer and you're like, woot, 1 drawer down, right? You go through your closet and you get rid of the clothes you don't wear and you give them away and you're like, yes, that felt good. That's the kind of goal that we want to pick.
Sure.
And then we develop little tiny steps toward that, so that you can celebrate what you did do rather than looking at, oh, I didn't get that done. I should have. So, it's all around support, clarity, accountability, gentle, fun accountability, a fun tracking system so you can see your progress, and a feel-good way of doing it together. So it is a 6-week program that I'll be introducing, where we get to work together for 6 weeks. You get 6 live coaching calls, and that ability to say, well, this is where I'm at. I kind of got stuck on this one. Then I'm like, well, okay, does it still feel good? Is it still a feel good? Or how can we tweak that a little or change the wording so that this keeps you on track for what you want, but it feels amazing? So that support that otherwise we don't have.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I'm thinking the feel-good part generates motivation more than just being on my list of want-tos.
Yeah,
absolutely. And then the support will absolutely continue the motivation.
Yeah. So often we come up with an idea, a goal. I mean, I'm going to go to the gym every day, or I'm going to walk every day, or I'm going to exercise. If you don't have a buddy, you don't have somebody that says, okay, come on, are we going? You'd be like, oh, today my leg hurts, or today I just don't feel so good, or, I'm going to be 10 minutes late. I don't want to interrupt the class, right? All those excuses.
Accountability.
Yeah. But gentle, not in such a way that it's like thumb on top of you. You should have done it. Why didn't you do that? And so many of the programs out there that are structures, they're designed more like, what didn't you do instead of what did you do? List all the things you can do and all the little micro steps. And if you miss a micro step, you go back and it doesn't feel good. And it's easy to walk away. We don't want to walk away from something that really is going to make a difference in our life, whether it's physical, health, whether it's personal or business. And that's what this is all about, is it can be any 3 super meaningful goals, whether it's personal or business, and you get to work together for it.
Well, and I'm thinking too, so many of the programs out there are structured and we have to plug ourselves in to that structure. And it sounds like you're helping us to um, not modify, but create the goals that are that are our own, not somebody else's idea, not
Definitely.
somebody else's words.
Definitely.
But
And
in
the
my,
tracking's easy.
yeah, yeah. But I like that because it's personal is not the word. It's crafted to be crafted to be crafted to be mine.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
almost automatic ownership when we talk about
Good.
words. Different triggers that make us feel safe to walk out of our comfort zone
Yeah.
into the change.
Yeah. Yeah, and you want to be working for the most part. You work kind of in your comfort zone, and then when you're excited about something, that's when you step forward with that excitement,
Mm-hmm.
not so much the fear of I don't know how to tackle this, but like I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
I know this one little thing, this one new little thing I wanted to learn. This is cool, and I'm going to feel amazing when I have this piece in place, personally or professionally,
Sure.
and it'll help me get toward this ultimate goal that I have for the
Right.
year. So you're right, it's definitely personal.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. It's overwhelming when you see the whole picture, but if you break it down into steps like what you're talking about, BJ, it makes it more realistic of what we can accomplish. And
Right.
one of the things that we've been learning in the book that we've been reading, Let Them, she
Yes.
says she says that people are not have to make that choice for themselves. They have to come to that point where it's more important for them to do that goal than not to do that goal. And nobody can do that for them. They have to come to that on their own. And that's what you're saying is picking the three things for yourself that you want to look at and change. And I also like the fact that we can't be change agents as far as people making their own decision, but we can be influencers, and that's what they were talking about in the book. Is
Sure.
you can't make somebody change, but you can influence them by opening up, like what you're doing with your classes that you're offering, is giving people opportunity to align themselves and get the support they need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only person we can ever change is ourselves. I talk a lot about that in Are You My Flock? The personality profiling.
Right.
And you're right. When we change, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what Mel talks about too, she
Right.
made a change. When we change how we interact with others
Right.
and how we interact with ourselves, there might be a little bit of a rockiness at first because you no longer fit the spoke in somebody's wheel.
Right.
You're no longer doing exactly what they thought you should do.
Mhm.
However, if you can ride it out, then
Right.
you can get to the other side. You do have a ripple effect,
Exactly.
in on the people in your world and on the world in general, just like
Right.
Mel has. She's had a major ripple effect by giving people, in essence, permission
Yeah.
to stand up for themselves.
Yeah.
I'll give you a personal example. My brother and sister-in-law came up and spent Christmas with us. This is just the week after Christmas. And they take their dog out to walk twice a day. They didn't tell me, Sandy, you need to do this, but I watched them do it, and I'm really feeling like that's what I want to do with my dog. I have a chocolate lab,
Oh
and
yeah.
that's a very influence in watching them do that and seeing how much the dog enjoyed it, how much they got out of it by exercising and that kind of thing. It's making me feel like that's something I would like to do for this upcoming year, is start doing that. And it's not because they gave me a directive, it's because I watched them see and saw the outcome of it. And yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and the person that you want to change might be surprised that you could do it.
Right.
It might have been something they were going, oh, she'll never do that.
Right.
And so as they watch us do it, they might get some ideas.
Yeah.
But one thing that I've learned this year, last year when we started our podcast, we literally took a leap of faith because we didn't know how to do anything. And we just said, okay, we're done. We're starting now.
Right.
And we just sort of learned as we went, and we weren't real apologetic about it. We just learned as we went. And it's been an amazing journey. And I have learned I think I knew this one. The first step, I think I knew a few years ago. The second step was the courageous leap in, do it anyway.
Mm.
And the first thing was trust your intuition and, trust your passion. And I've gotten better at that as I've gotten older. Probably about 5 years ago, I started getting better at trust. When I'm coaching, I just say what's up for me. And if they want to reject it, they can, or they just might put a little, breadcrumb in their forehead. And then the second one is leaping, the courage, just go for it. What's the worst thing that can happen? You know,
Right.
Nobody would have known where we were and we just quit, but we kept on and we had each other. But intuition and courage, I think, are really important.
Yeah. I remember a youth pastor one time talking about studying about fishing and studying about the bait you're going to use and which hook you should use and all these things, this process, but they never get to fishing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's people who buy program after program
Mm-hmm.
because they want to learn. They don't
Right.
want to try yet because they're not sure. And so that's the shiny object syndrome. And we definitely address that when we look at New Year's goals or resolutions, however someone wants to term it, and pick those 3 meaningful, feel good topics and dive in. So,
Yeah. Right.
good point.
Yeah.
So are you going to help us when we sign up for January 2nd? Are you going to help? Do we have to come in with some ideas, or
You can let it roll around in your mind for now. But yes, when we do the workshop on Friday, I will be asking some questions to help you go, oh yeah, that really does mean something to me. So I will help you in the workshop. And then those of you who are signed up to work with me after the workshop, because the workshop's 1 hour, but this is a 6-week fresh start coaching program.
Like
And it's
that.
group coaching. So yeah, those of you who decide, I want some accountability and I want some help and I want some coaching through
Right.
this, then we'll continue to work to fine tune those so that at the end of 6 weeks,
Sure.
you're like, woot, I did it. Look at these 3 that are done.
Yeah. Is it going to be live only, or can I join by watching it later? I mean, that might be hard
Both.
with the live coaching.
Both. Well, the live coaching is really where you get to ask the questions
Oh, okay.
because I'm coaching you. I'm not necessarily just coaching on the subject.
Okay.
So the 6-week fresh start
Uh-huh.
is 6 live Zoom calls, and they're like 30 to 45 minutes a piece, depending on how many people are on. But we're addressing, how did it feel? What went right? What do you feel like you're moving in the right direction? Does this still feel good? What kind of changes do you need, or do you want to bounce some ideas? So I'm there for you to be able to go, yeah, that felt really good. And also I want blank, or yeah, I'm rocking it. And somebody else is going to hear what you're doing and go, oh yeah, that's a great way to do something, because along those 6 weeks,
Sure.
and throughout those 6 weeks, you're going to find techniques. We're going to share techniques and skill sets and maybe tools, that help you do what you want to do in a way that feels good for you. And each one is recorded. So if you miss it, you can go back and listen to who was asking questions and pick up some tips. And you can always email me. You have access to me through email 24/7 through the 6 weeks.
All right. And who doesn't like a fresh start? I love to be able to start my next day over and say whatever was yesterday was yesterday. I get to start this over and do better today.
Yeah.
Same thing as a year-to-year situation. Okay, the last year is done, and now I'm doing a fresh start. I like that. Great name.
Yeah.
Good.
It's a good thing. We have learned through our book study of Let Them how helpful it is to hear other people's examples
Right.
and stories, and there's just 4 of us on there, and we've just found it very generative. So I like the idea of, people sharing, because you get a lot more from that than you do just reading a book or hearing about something.
Well, sometimes you have a tendency to, I don't know about you ladies, but sometimes you feel like I'm the only one that's feeling this way or thinking this way or doing it this way. when you're sharing, as you're talking about, Sue, it makes you realize I'm not alone on this, and it really
Exactly.
helps you not kick yourself and say, "Oh, good grief, everybody else just got it together and I don't."
Right.
Right, right. And the other thing I like about it is very often somebody will say something and give me a whole different perspective than how I came about it. I had
Yeah.
my own little my own
Yeah.
little tunnel I went in, and then people talk about something else, examples that brings in just very. I mean, collaboration is fabulous. It
Yep.
really is.
That's why the 6 weeks I think is so important,
Mhm.
is
Mhm.
because it's not me teaching you something.
Yeah,
Right.
We've already kind of figured out what we want to do. Now we're just fine tuning it and
yeah,
supporting one another and looking for additional tools or techniques.
yeah.
Right.
So it's us all together.
Yeah, and
That's
the
a good
6 weeks
system.
brings me into February. I mean, it's supposed to, everything works in January and then you come to February. Well, it gets you past February.
That's right. That's right. Good kickstart into the
Yeah,
year.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. So let's focus on BJ entrepreneur for a minute. What
Okay.
yeah, and you said you've been doing this for 40 years, so you've done it. You've been there, done that, and I bet you've got some goals. Do you
Oh,
have
yes.
do you have one, two, or three that you might share with us in your
Absolutely.
just to start?
Absolutely. So, one of my top goals coming into this next 6 weeks is to launch the audio version of Are You My Flock? And I'm sending out little sneak peek clips and bloopers and surveys on
Uh,
the book cover. So I have a group of people who are my sneak peek group, and that is available to anybody until I get that book launched. So I'm excited about that because it's easy to listen to things sometimes more so than sitting down to actually
I have
read.
a question. Are you going to be on Audible?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay, good. Well, that brings me in. I've got some credit that I need to
Oh,
spend, so I'm looking forward to that.
good. Yeah, he's the person that I'm working with. That's kind of their niche. And so they're going to be putting it out all
Okay.
over. It'll
Good.
be available in a wide variety of platforms, which I'm
Good.
excited
Good.
about.
One of the gals that was on our podcast probably about a month ago, her name's Sage Justice, and she has a book she published, I think, a few years ago. It's called Freedom, and but she just published it on Audible, and so I'm listening to it, and it's I love to listen to Audible, and
Nice.
so I think it'll really expand the audience. So
Good.
that's awesome. Okay, that's number one. You got another one?
Well, there is one that I have been doing consistently, and it is a double my income mantra. And it is very powerful. It's very fun. When I first started doing it, it was interesting because instead of the double number, it like quadrupled. And I'm like,
Wow.
oh, where'd that come from?
Oh,
Interesting.
wow.
And so I went with it because trusting my instinct, trusting my gut. And that has been consistent. It's something that I do for a certain part of each day. And it's tacked on to anything else. It's something that I can do while I'm washing dishes or I'm bringing wood in or we're running across the water and anything that's kind of a non-thinkable, I don't have to write.
Uh,
That's where it fits in. So it's like habit stacking.
uh-huh.
And I am amazed about the things that have come from that. The first was the difference between having to earn it and receiving it.
Oh,
The
okay.
second was not having to know exactly where it's coming from.
Uh-huh.
That openness to like,
Oh,
the universe is
trust.
amazingly big.
Yeah.
I trust. So those are really, I think for me, were really powerful insights because so often, at least for me, I had to earn.
Yeah.
I had to earn. You had got to do the work. You got to put in the effort. You got to earn,
Mindset. Yeah.
right? So that's the second one, and it will stay on my 6 week
Oh,
um,
good.
goals forever.
Yeah. One thing that I learned about you right away, and it was just through some of our email connection, is you have a really unique way of helping people frame affirmations. I can't remember what it was, but the first time you said something, and it was just so enlightening to me to make it like I believed it rather than just said it. You know what I mean? But it was in something you said. I should go back on my emails and look it up. But it was transformational. I'd never heard it before. And I can see how that is wonderful. Just kind of a real breakthrough for people because, we can say what we want and words are powerful, but until our brain believes it, it doesn't manifest. And so I really thank you for that. So I'm looking forward to hearing what that affirmation is, if you're going to give your secret away.
We shall see. We shall see. A lot of what I teach and a lot of what I've learned, not all, of course, we take what we learn and we morph it into our own. But I want to give a little shout out to Dana Wild. If you have not jumped into Dana Wild's sandbox, you are missing so much. She has a positive mindset entrepreneurs club, and I've been in that club for a couple of years. I've actually been in what she calls her sandbox because she doesn't work, she plays. It's all about mindset. Right. And I have been with her for probably 13 years. And a lot of what I've learned and I've morphed and I teach, started with those thought processes and mantras and rants and changes. Right. And I'm very grateful to her. So I want to give a shout out, credit where credit's due.
Great. Maybe she will come on our podcast.
Good luck. Oh. No, not in a bad way. It's just that she's
busy.
Of course, I shouldn't say that. I'm going to take that back because Dana is very real. Dana is amazing. She's so fun. And I reached out to her and asked her if she would do the foreword for my book. And she said, sure. And I'm like, okay. We're talking about a woman who has
busy
hundreds of thousands of followers.
Yeah. Well, I follow my intuition and I'm very courageous.
Good.
So I'm not always afraid to say, will
then
you?
Then you might just reach out.
Yeah.
And in fact, what I would do, Dana, here, I'm going to say this right on air. What I would do is I would take this recording and I would email it to Dana Wild and say, would you be willing? Because you never know who you're going to meet.
Is she on LinkedIn?
Oh, yeah. She's everywhere. So LinkedIn, she's on YouTube, she's on Facebook, Positive Mindset Entrepreneurs Club, great place to find her.
Oh, anyway, awesome. Thank you. Well, I will. I'll email it to her, and you know what? If it resonates with her, then she might say yes. And that's
you just never know. You just never know. I mean, I was thrilled and pleased that
we got you on.
That's true.
Yeah.
See, we all want to help. We all want to help. Honestly, I think that's the bottom line. We all love to help.
Well, and we want to promote the right stuff. Right. And it resonates with you. It's either in your heart or it just,
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's got to click.
Okay. You gave us 2. We want number 3.
I'm going to let that one roll around for another couple days, and I'm going to work on that one with those of you in the group so that we're all together.
Example for all of us, right?
Yeah. We're going to work on it together.
Okay. So I think I know everything I need to know about the workshop. Okay. And I think that it would be really important for people today on December 31st to check it out. And question mark. And Sandy, is there anything that you want to know?
I like how BJ outlined it for us and gives us an idea and kind of draws us in as something that could really help us jumpstart our new year. I like it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
How many affirmations are you attached to that you really use all the time? You have a number or?
I don't have a number. Honestly, it runs by your feeling. It's like whatever you're dealing with that day. I don't necessarily, I have actually moved them to what I would consider rants, that you just start talking. Today's going to be a good day. I know this is going to be a good day. I'm excited about this day. I'm willing to be open today. I'm willing to receive today. who can I meet today? So it's that self-talk and that rant that changes your emotional level.
Oh,
So
yeah,
it's more like that than it is just
just a
a
certain.
mantra. Although there are two, I teach people how to have an anchor statement,
Uh-huh.
which is anytime you're in a bad situation, I help you work through um, what is that bottom line statement
Mhm.
that you can lean on that nobody could ever shake you from. And for me, it would be I know I always land on my feet. No matter what's going on around me, I always land on my feet. So
Mhm.
that's a grounding kind of statement. So when you come to mantras, those are the types of things that they're core.
Mhm.
There's something that bring you back to who you are,
Right.
that you are not alone, that you are going to be okay.
Mhm.
Other than that, I do rants that just take you through whatever you're dealing with and get you on
Well,
track.
I love that you call it a rant because in my vocabulary, rant has a negative connotation. And I love that you flipped it.
Yeah,
You flipped it into being a positive rant. And I'm going to get on this positive wheel and keep going
yeah,
forward.
yeah,
And that you ground with something that you really already know that's true about you.
yeah. Good.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, oh, and
So, what about you two? I'm going to
well,
lean in and ask, have you thought about what you want for the new year?
we
If you were
haven't,
to think about
yeah, we haven't had our meeting yet. We were going to have a meeting very soon about roll and goal for, we kind of do that monthly. Um,
yeah.
Sandy, how about you? I think I asked you that earlier, and I think you had something. What did you want to
Oh, I
accomplish?
was talking about us going as far as our podcast trying to go live and seeing if we could have other people being able to share ideas and ask questions and have us do live do a live podcast. That's one of the things I'd like to see us try this year. Um, I
That's
already
great.
talked about my dog and me, so that's one of my personal goals.
Right. Okay.
So when Sandy and I talked earlier, one thing I'd like to do is go back and reorganize our content again. I kind of did it a few months ago, but I want to organize it according to categories so that if people are looking for grief and loss, the podcasts around that are, in entrepreneurship. And so I'm going to do that. And then I want to get more explicit about who's on and what they're talking about because my index isn't as clear as I want it to be.
Right.
Um, and then going along with Sandy going live, what we haven't done and we've talked about is having 2 or 3 of our people that have been on come on as kind of, I want to say panelists,
Mm-hmm. Sure.
but
Sure.
sort of facilitating conversation,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 2 entrepreneurs, between, whatever. And I've got some people already. I already have 2 people willing to come on and they're going to talk about, um, do I want to say cultural literacy, just sort of both of them are from different cultures
Mm.
and talking about what's the language around connecting people when the cultures are different. And I know both of them are very articulate and they might have some great insights. So
Nice.
those are ideas that I kind of want to push to fruition rather than just let them hang there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
we talked also about actually. So there's some phrases that Sue taught us when she was coaching our group, or stories that she shared with us that took your right brain and your left brain together and understanding what she was referring to or talking about. And that's one of the things that also we had talked about, actually presenting that on some of our podcasts and giving those tools to our listeners. Um, to see if that would help them. I'll give you an example. So she talked about self-differentiation. When there's a situation, you need to step back. If there's a tough situation in your family or in your workplace, you know, step back and be sure self-differentiation is happening. And she talks about not wearing your Velcro suit so that it all lands on you. Well, that's a word picture that, boy, I tell you what, when I'm in an emotional thing, I can sit there and I can actually say, don't put your Velcro suit on, Sandy, and be able to actually, and so those kinds of things also I think we'd like to address this year.
yeah, we're going to do that, but we have to do it together because I don't remember what I said. I don't remember the stories. They're not as
Cute.
significant to me. But yeah, I'd like to do that too, because I want her to kind of frame it, and then I'll tell the story, and then, we'll go back and forth a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we haven't
Good
got
goals.
a lot of our coaching content.
Yeah.
It was so boring when we first opened, and we were just doing audio. And then when we started doing video, we were just, oh, who wants to learn about the learning ladder? I mean, I have terms for all this, but they're pretty, shredded wheat, not very, not very tasty. And so if we can kind of bring them to life a little bit, that
Right.
might be more exciting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
giving examples of doing stories like we were talking to you about, BJ, and you talking about the flock and that kind of thing. Boy, it just takes your mind. You can picture it, and so those kinds of things, I think, make it real for people.
Yeah. Stories tell, information sells.
Right?
And speaking of sell, are you girls able to monetize? Are you monetizing your podcast at all
No.
yet?
Yet I haven't really wanted to. I just want people to come, at least at this point. And Substack lets us do that. And I've even had people who have put stuff on, and then I just said, hey, you guys, we're not doing that at this point. Because we just want to get the information out there.
Right.
And
That's good. That's very generous, and that's beautiful.
But money can come in other ways too.
Yes, it can, from business and coaching and all kinds of good things.
All sorts of good things.
We don't have to know where it's all coming from.
No, we don't. I know it. That's a wonderful aha. I'm really excited to listen to your audiobook. So I'm going to be listening for when that's out, because I want to find out what to do with my husband, who I'm going to call him a yeller. And I think he's probably, isn't that an eagle that's a yeller?
A raptor.
Yeah. And I want to find out more about that, because I have to not wear my Velcro suit sometimes. And he yells, but 15 minutes later, he's fine. I mean,
he might be, it depends. If he would ever take the quiz, or once you get the book or whatever, he could be a raptor, or he could be a songbird. Because songbirds can fly off, and then it's fine. Everything's good.
Right.
Yeah.
And a raptor, they're more like they'll fly off, but then they'll hang on to something.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So he might be a little bit of a songbird. I don't know him, so that's a wild guess.
He just seems to need to process that way. Mm-hmm. And then it goes away, and I mean,
but it leaves a mark on you.
Yeah, it's hard not to hold on to it.
Hard not to. And then, you know what I mean? I don't really, I mean, he even sometimes yells at the dog, and it just is that explosion, and then he seems to be fine. He yells at the TV, he yells when he drives. You know what I mean? It's just a boom, and then he's fine.
There may be also a chance, and my husband says that I get loud when I'm emphatic about something. And I think he kind of considers it yelling, and I don't even notice that about myself. I think there's probably a good chance that Mike doesn't even realize that he's doing that. It may be just something that is ingrained in him, and just to bring an awareness of how it lands on you, maybe the ticket to that. I don't know.
Well, I've done that.
I'm sure after this many years, you've said something.
Right.
But what I know what frustrates him, we totally talk in different languages. I mean, I am a process person, and I have to talk. I have to start here, and then process,
tell the whole story,
and then I come up with a solution. And he's full. Well, there's another story, Sandy. Are you a fully baked cupcake, or are you a processed cupcake? Where you put it in the oven. And he's fully baked. He thinks about it and knows what he's going to say. And I lose him when I start talking. And it's I used to say, when he'd just give me a fully baked cupcake, I'd have to say, stop. And finally one day he said, Sue, all you ever say to me is stop. And so I changed that to wait, wait. And that helped a little.
Yeah.
But I mean, it totally is a different way of processing information.
Yeah.
So, and it's fun.
You'll learn a lot.
I know.
From the book.
I have learned a lot from other resources, and I'm continually learning.
Yeah.
But good heavens, after, is it 54 years now?
Aw, congratulations.
Well, we haven't made
That's
it yet.
that's stick to itiveness. That's all I can say.
Oh, years of working separately, and being busy, but no, it's fun, and it's all about communication. But I'm
Well,
always
I
learning.
would say, BJ, that us starting this podcast was more about us than it was about others at the point that we started, because we didn't want to quit learning. And this
Mhm.
forces us to move forward and be intentional about pulling up a book or meeting somebody, or moving us forward so that
Yeah.
we don't get stagnant. And this, so when you're talking about monetizing it, we hadn't thought about that, because our intent was, this is going to be good for us to
Smart.
be
Yeah.
able to learn, because when you teach or share, you're learning at the same time.
Very true. Very true. And you're following your hearts.
There you go. We are, and we're enjoying ourselves and meeting
Love it.
such a vast community. We have just so many people that we're thrilled to have in the
Absolutely.
community.
Isn't that fun? It
Uh,
really is fun to meet people, get to know them, and
Yeah.
what made them tick, and what makes them do what they do, and why they stick with what they're doing. Yeah, it really is a lot of fun.
Right.
I agree.
yeah. Well, anything dangling for you, BJ, before we close?
No, just excited about starting a new year,
Mhm.
strong, knowing that these 3 goals are going to kickstart the year. And I have my entire year planned out, because I did that with my 12-month planning program earlier. So everything I do kind of builds on each other.
Uh,
The expectation and action board gets all that stuff out there. The 12-month planning puts it down on paper. And then the 6-week fresh start
uh,
gives me a starting block. So
yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited to work with my audience, my tribe,
Mhm.
to really help them have those same aha moments and experiences that bring them joy.
Great. So, if I ask you what's one takeaway from our conversation today, what would you say?
The joy of getting to know people, building community, and knowing that our journey is not one that we have to do alone. We have each other. We have other people who want to know us, and we
Absolutely.
want to know them. So I would say that community that you're building is pretty cool.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, we're glad you're in it. Sandy, how
Thanks.
about you? What's one takeaway?
I love the idea that BJ talks about in figuring out just 3 goals to start out your change for your new world or your new year. Because it makes a lot of sense to me that if you become overly, you get easily overwhelmed if you don't do something and break it down to something that's a doable thing. And it sounds to me like BJ is going to give the support of helping us know how that looks. So, yeah, I think it's very cool.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited for her to get that audiobook out. So I'm crossing my fingers that she has that high on her list of accomplishments.
Yep.
So wonderful to talk to you today, and we shall connect with you very soon.
All right. Thanks again for inviting me back.
Oh, you're welcome.
And Happy New Year.
Yes, and
Happy
hang
New
on.
Year to you, BJ.
I'm going to end this, but I want you to hang on just for a sec, okay?